What is up, everyone? This is your boy AJ Tripp. Welcome to the Word According to Me NFL Season Preview Edition. And this one is going to be a very different type of one. Because I've done a couple of these in the past through the videos and like that, and I kind of wanted to give you a little show, something like that. And I was trying to figure out. I'm not the kind of with two things. I'm not the kind of one person where I know how to, get logos and use them, something like that. I don't even know if and put them up or anything like that and have them. I'm not that advanced in that editing part of a video. That I just cut and slice and things like that and other things like that. So I was trying to figure out how can I do this preview and give you like a little visual, just me talking. And I found this great site. It's called PlayoffPredictors.com. And what they have you do is that they have you go through all 17 weeks of the NFL, and you get to predict each game, who wins, who loses, and then at the end of 17 they give you like the record and who makes the playoffs and everything like that, and you can do that for the playoffs and who makes the Super Bowl. It was such a good time. The link is going to be in the description box down below, so you can go ahead and you can make your own NFL season preview if you want, or just do it for your favorite team, whatever. But this is it was truly awesome, truly helpful. Took some screenshots. I'm going to show them to you guys. I'm talking to you about them, and so here we go. And on with the NFL season preview. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of the teams and talk about a little bit of each about them and why I think they're going to be in the position that they are. Now, understand this. Now, the records that you will see are not the records I think they're going to have, because we have one undefeated team. We have one team that's 15-1, another team that's 14-2, and they're in the same damn division. and many other records. So some records I agree with, some records I don't. But for the very most part, the teams that I think are going to make the playoffs, that I thought were going to make the playoffs, are the teams that are making the playoffs with 16. I think there's maybe just one that I'm kind of sketchy on, and I'll talk about that when I get to them. But otherwise, it was a great help, I think, in being able to do this with the video. So let's actually get started. So let's start with the NFC. In the NFC North, Packers win the division. The Bears are second. The Lions are third. The Vikings are fourth. Now, I actually think you probably could switch the Bears and the Lions. I don't think the Bears are probably after watching the preseason games, Bears are probably a little bit better than I thought. I don't think they're 6-10 good as the record shows up there, but I definitely think they can be maybe 5-11, something like that. Maybe they can beat a couple teams that they weren't supposed to beat. And of course, we've seen the Mitch Trubisky looks good, and things like that for a rookie, and he at some point was going to get his chance to play, I believe. I don't think unless they're losing games by the defense, and I'm not sure they will be, because the defense looks pretty good. Mike Lennon is, and if it's just a talent thing, then there is definitely a good chance that Mr. Trubisky will not play this entire season. But I definitely think that I definitely think at some point he would. I think it will be too strong of a call for it. But I definitely think you can flip the Lions and the Bears there. The Lions now have the highest paid player in NFL history in Matthew Stafford. I think people were talking about does he deserve it or something like that. And listen, does anybody deserve it? We get like five quarterbacks making $25 million or more, right? I mean, they don't deserve that. In all the sports, salaries are inflated and they are too high. The highest paid quarterback should probably be making $12 million a year. That's really what it should be. You should be making the highest paid quarterback should be making $12 million a year. Matthew Stafford is making $30 million, something like that. So it's neither here nor there, but all the salaries are inflated. So the reason that Matthew Stafford is not that big of a deal to me. I love how you get like which sides are you on, like what side you're on. Like the people who think Matthew Stafford should be there is he's like the best fourth quarter comeback guy. He led 8 last year, and he's the number one guy in the last 5 years to do it. So he can bring your team back from in the fourth quarter down by 3 and get the win. But then there's also this other record where he's like 5-46 in his career against teams that have winning records, at the end of the season. So, but listen, he's a good quarterback. I think, there's always that thing, is he good enough to win, or is he not good enough to win? I think he's good enough to win. I really do. I think he's good enough to win. I just think they had to put the right things around him. I think, and he's gonna pass for 4,000 yards, and that's it. But they need to do something with the running game. I think Theo Riddick from Notre Dame is there. Amir Abdullah is there. That kind of was the same back. That was the same type of back. I don't know if that's neither here nor there, but they really do need to. I think what they really need to do is they don't need to find a bell cow. I'm not gonna go that far, but they need to find somebody that can, that can run down the clock. I think. Like I said, I don't know. I'm willing to give any running back a chance to be a 25 carry running back. I think every running back. I don't think you just say, well, because Amir Abdullah is small or that Theo Riddick is slight, that they shouldn't get the opportunity to, be a guy with in a year gets 300 carries. No, give it to him. Sure, let's see if he has to do it or not. When Miami did that with Reggie Bush, he had 1,400 yards, I believe. So, not 14, but in 1,200. He had 1,200 yards. So, listen, it's right. So, you give them opportunity. Listen, the Packers, what can you say about the Packers? They're the best team in the division. I believe that without question. Aaron Rodgers said he's not going to get old. I don't think so. He won't get old for a few years. Although I think Clay Matthews may start to be getting old, and their defense may be starting to get old. But we'll see. He still got Jordy Nelson. He still has all his weapons. I still think the Green Bay Packers are the class of this division. And the I have Minnesota Vikings at 3-13. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think because of the whole playoff predictor thing, just choosing games. They're going to win games that they don't, that they can win. I think the Vikings. I think you could very well see is the Lions at 7-9, the Vikings at 7-9, and the Bears at 5-11. I think that's you can see something like that. I don't think the Vikings are going to be that bad. I don't think they're going to be 3-13 bad. I just think without Adrian Peterson, Sam Bradford in this is going to be good. Now they get Latavius Murray and Dalvin Cook. It'll be funny to see how that works out. It'll be funny to see how everything works out. Terry Newman on the team, the oldest guy on the team at 39 years old. He's going to be leading that secondary. Trey Waynes needs to step up, or the cornerback that was a rookie last year or 2 years ago. So it's just about everything, but it's very interesting to see. Like you see on the screen, I have the Green Bay Packers winning the division, and I have them, going on to the playoffs. For the NFC South, now as you can probably see, the Buccaneers are 14-2, the Atlanta Falcons are 11-5, and the Panthers are at 10-6. And the Saints are at 6-10. I do believe in the Buccaneers. I believe in Jameis Winston. I believe in the Mike Evans and O.J. Howard and everything like that. I believe in that defense with Jared McCoy. If you've been watching Hard Knocks, you have enjoyed Jared McCoy. I know you have, like this as much as I have. So I believe in the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are going to be the best in that division. I do think the Buccaneers are going to be a playoff team. They're going to win the division, be the playoff team. I don't think they're going to be 14-2. I don't, but I think they will win. I have the Atlanta Falcons as second. We had Matt Ryan come back. They obviously lost the offensive coordinator. He's in San Francisco, but I think Steve Sarkisian, will do good enough. I think he will be his first time in the pros. Actually, I think he's been in he's been at USC and went to Washington. He went back to USC, but I think he's going to be pretty good in the pros because he kind of runs the. I don't think it's like the West Coast offense hybrid. It's like a hybrid between the West Coast offense and then the Air Coryell offense. I think that's the type of hybrid he runs. But he's got a lot of West Coast stuff in it. So that's mostly all offenses. Mostly all offenses, except for like the spread with Chip Kelly and the pure Don Coryell offense. Most offenses have the West Coast. There's a West Coast theme to it. The short passing game, the screens and things like that. So I think for the most part, most offenses have that West Coast flavor to it, and his just has it as well. I think Julio Jones, if stays healthy, is again going to be a beast to deal with. Time for that tight end, I'm not going to say his name because I don't know it, to step up from Matt Ryan and become, the next great, tight end in the league. And listen, they have the Thunder and Lightning with, Dante Freeman and Tevin Coleman in the backfield. So I think this, once again, the Falcons should be the playoff team. I believe in the Panthers. I believe in Cam Newton. I believe in Christian McCaffrey. You have the guys. You have to apologize for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm talking more than my brain can think, and I'm not saying these things correctly. So I apologize. I'm gonna try to do better as we go on. But I believe in Christian McCaffrey, and a lot of people have said it on the Carolina Panthers. He's not this third down back. He's not this. This is a guy who can run into tackles. He can carry the ball 20-25 times. He proved it in Stanford. He's going to prove it here. Now, they still get Jonathan Stewart, so it won't be this year. But the next 2 years, he's going to be the bell cow. He's going to get the ball 350 times. 300 times out of the backfield, 50 times as a receiver. So, this is a guy that, I think is going to be a stud for the Panthers. And I think, with that, I think with Luke Kuechly, hopefully with no more concussion problems, Thomas Davis healthy, maybe the defense back, in form. Ron Rivera is going to get that defense back into form. I think the Carolina Panthers will still be a good team, and I think they will also make the playoffs for the NFC South. I think 3 teams from the NFC South will make the playoffs. As for the New Orleans Saints, Mark Ingram and Adrian Peterson in the backfield, I don't think the defense has to show me. The offense, I think, is going to put up points as they always do. They're going to put up yards and points. We could very much well see, Drew Brees threw for 5,000 yards again. But we could very much well see Drew Brees throw for less than 4,000 yards because Mark Ingram and Adrian Peterson have both over 1,000 yards rushing. So that could be amazing, but I just don't trust their defense just yet. So that's why I'm picking them last. But when you have 2 Hall of Famers in Brees and Peterson in that backfield, and Mark Ingram a stud as well, they should be a fun watch at the very least, and they should be into every game. I just think the defense will let them down at the end. Going on to the NFC East, I have the Redskins at the top of the division at 10-6, and I think that's a perfect record for them. I think they will be 10-6. I think I believe in Kirk Cousins. I believe he is a top 10 quarterback. I think it is. I just don't think he puts up stats. This is not a stat, pusher. He doesn't fills up the box score. I think he's actually a talented guy. Now, does he make mistakes? Yes. All quarterbacks make mistakes. And is he elite? No, he's not elite, not yet. But I think he is a talented enough quarterback that he can lead a team to the Super Bowl. And I think the Redskins are ridiculous in not thinking that. And I think, there are so many sides to this. He says he wants to be a Redskin, but who knows? And then the Redskins say, well, is he good enough? Yes, he's good enough. So who knows? The biggest thing I think for the Redskins is they lost some talented wide receivers. They lost Deshaun Jackson. He went to Tampa Bay. Pierre Garçon went to San Francisco. So it's going to be about who. They did get Terrell Pryor from Cleveland, who had a pretty good year as a wide receiver last year. But it's going to be about if Josh Dotson can be a player, if he can step up and fill in that role of a possession receiver that Pierre Garçon played. It's going to be if Josh Reed, I think that's his name, Jordan Reed, Jordan Reed can stay healthy at tight end. That's about his #1 guy, and Terrell Pryor can fill in the spots in the field as well. They've got themselves a crazy backfield well. Chris Thompson and Fat Rob Kelly and a lot of the other guys that they have get drafted. So it's going to be interesting. They're in a tough division. I have the Cowboys at 9-7, the second team. I do think that as well. I don't think obviously Ezekiel Elliott isn't going to have the season that he had last year because he's been suspended for at least 6 games right now. At least at the most 6 games. It may be taken down. We'll find out, I guess, some point. At least at the time of this recording, it was put at 6 games. I don't know. Nothing has come down yet whether or not he's been reduced or anything like that. I don't think Dak Prescott is going to be. I think he's going to be a second-year quarterback. I think he still have the poise and he'll still have the problem. I think he'll still probably be. He'll still probably throw more touchdowns and interceptions, but I don't think he will just be. He just won't go out there and just go, touchdown, and then pick. No, he's not going to be what he was last year as a rookie. But he's still going to be good. He needs to be good because if he does fall back, there's going to be a lot of people saying, this is why we should have had Tony Romo. There's still people down there that believe that Tony Romo should still be the quarterback. I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about there have been things on the internet saying that a lot of people in the organization, and when they say a lot of people in the organization, they're talking about Jerry Jones. That's really what they're doing. They're talking about Jerry Jones. But that's neither here nor there. I think the Cowboys are still going to be a good team. They're not going to make the playoffs because of the teams in the NFC South are going to be much better. The Eagles, I think, are going to be good. The Eagles is 8-8. I believe in Carson Wentz. I believe in a lot of quarterbacks, and you'll find out, and a lot of players. I believe Carson Wentz is good. He has Alshon Jeffrey. He has Torrey Smith. I think those guys will pick him up. I think Carson Wentz can kind of repeat what he started last year. I don't know if he'll have a lot of touchdowns or very few interceptions, but I could very well see Carson Wentz, let's just say, end the season 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, because I do think last year coming out he played in a kind of pro style offense, so he's able to catch up. And Doug Peterson, the head coach, who is basically a descendant of the West Coast offense, because it starts with Bill Walsh, and then everybody that was in San Francisco with Bill Walsh goes under him, and Mike Holmgren was there in San Francisco under Bill Walsh. He went to coach, Green Bay, and then it was him, and the quarterbacks were Favre. Doug Peterson was there. He was there with Favre and Brunell and all those guys. So Doug Peterson, when he went to and Andy Reid was there. When Andy Reid got the coach to Philly, Doug Peterson went there as a backup for Donovan McNabb. So then when he retired, he became a coach and so on and so on. So now as Doug Peterson is now the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, he has a pretty pure West Coast offense, I believe. He still does a lot of things where the fullback is the number one option, or the fullback is the number one option. Or I think they maybe use like a tight end, the 2 tight end set, but using one of the tight ends as a fullback. But it's still like, and that's what a big part of the West Coast offense. Using like that fullback. If you guys remember, if you guys are old enough, or even if you guys aren't old enough, go back and look at some of the films. When Joe Montana would drop back, he would take 1, 2, 3 and just throw it at Tom Rasmus. I mean, it was just that was the number one option. 1, 2, 3, Tom Rasmus. That's just what he was just the fullback for the 49ers back in the day. Or it was 1, 2, 3, throw it to Roger Craig. And there's a lot of slants and there's a lot of drags, and so it's amazing to like watch. Now that that's what everybody does, right? Everybody used to talk about 1, 2, 3 slant, a lot of quick passes, and what they've done is, and what some teams have done. I mentioned earlier about the offense, and I can talk about this all day. I have to try to stay on top of it, but I do just want to mention this, that when you talk about it, right? You see a lot of people, they spread them out, right? That's how big. Now you spread them out, just throw it around the yard. And the Patriots do this good as well. They'll spread them out, get in shotgun, and Tom Brady will just get the ball and just throw it. It's immediately, as soon as you throw, as soon as you hike, it's just a quick pass. And then what they're trying to do is because there's a lot of great pass rushes. So, and they've taken the West Coast offense and extended it to outside the offense. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And sometimes it can be frustrating for a defense to just say, as soon as you hike it and you get up that field, ball's gone. Damn. But it's just fun. So anyway, let me get back. I think the Eagles are going to be relatively a good team. I believe in Carson Wentz. And I don't think the Giants at 4-12. I don't think they're going to be that bad. The Giants last year, were they a playoff team? I'm not sure. They actually may not have been a playoff team because there was that whole controversy about them going down to right. Yeah, no, they were a playoff team. They played the Green Bay Packers, and there was that whole controversy where they went down to like Miami or somewhere down in tropical, and they were all there. All the black guys were there with the shirts off. They were there with their shirts off and their Timberland boots on. Yeah. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah. So they still could be a playoff team, but I kind of just think I do think that the Redskins are going to step up. The Cowboys and the Eagles are going to be good. This is going to be the most competitive division, I think, because I think all four teams are good teams. The NFC South is going to be competitive as well, because I think the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Panthers are going to be good teams. And like I mentioned, the Saints, I don't trust their defense. I think their defense will lose them games. But I think here in the NFC East, all four teams are good teams. And I think I was picking the Redskins, but all four teams can win this division. And my heavens, who knows? We could have a surprising team come from the NFC East and be one of the the big names. So I think that's going to be the most competitive division. You guys watch out this year for the NFC East. It is going to be great games, great fun, and we start with the first week. I think both the Redskins and the Eagles play, and the Cowboys and the Giants play. This is going to be great. I'm so glad football's back. Let's get to the NFC West. Okay. No, calm down. You see that the Seahawks are 16-0. I don't think they're going 16-0. I really don't. But I do think they are obviously the class of the division. I just think that sometimes teams have windows that open and then close. It was like that with the Bears. The Bears had a 3-year window: 2005, 2006, and 2007, and then it shut, and that's how it's been. But I think a team like the Seahawks, when they get Russell Wilson, their window open, and it is still open. And I think that even though they've lost some players on their defense, they've lost some players on their offense, and it's still open. I think it's going to be open for a long time. I think the Seahawks are always going to be. They may not never make it to the Super Bowl. They might not be 16-0, but they should always win that division for the next 5-6 years. I think that window is completely open unless they do trade Sherman. If they do trade Sherman, I kind of think he's the heart and soul of that team. Richard Sherman is. I really do. I think he's the heart and soul of that team. So if that happens, we'll have to watch out for that. But I do think they're the class of that division. I do expect them to win that division. I think that Russell Wilson joining the 4,000-yard club, becoming a passer. Now, he got injured in the game against Miami. I think it was the second week of the season. Maybe he was in the first game of the season. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But he got that knee injury, and he had to stay in the pocket. And I think that kind of helped him out a little bit. You know, he stayed in the pocket, played from the pocket. He didn't run as often, and he became a 4,000-yard pass. I think Jermaine Kearse stepped up. I think Doug Baldwin immediately stepped up, and while they had him, Jimmy Graham became a target for him as well. So it really just made the Seahawks better, because it made Russell Wilson play from the pocket and prove that he can be, even though he's 5'10", one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So that was that. I think that was without a doubt. I think that helped them out. I expect them to win that division. The Cardinals. Bruce Arians is a great coach. Some people say he should have been the coach for the Bears. I will say this: as much as I would have liked to have him be the coach of the Chicago Bears instead of Mark Trestman, he might have. If he was the head coach, Jay Cutler still might be the quarterback. And so, no, thank you. I would take having Mark Trestman and now John Fox as the head coaches to get rid of Jay Cutler. Just no, and we'll get to Jay Cutler on the AFC side, but just get Jay Cutler away from the Bears. So no on that guy. No. So, but it is. I think they're going to be good. I really do. I think they're going to be good. They might shock somebody. Now, listen, if something happens to the Falcons or the Panthers and there's an injury there, I could see the Cardinals maybe, and they may lose some games if, like, Newton goes down or Matt Ryan goes down and they lose some games. I can see the Cardinals maybe winning a couple more of those games. So maybe, like, the Cardinals are 9-7 and the Panthers are 9-7, and the Cardinals get the tiebreaker and they make the playoffs. I can see that. I'm not predicting that, but I certainly can see that. I do think they're a good team. I just think they're going to be in a loaded NFC, in my opinion. I've told you that the NFC South has 3 great teams. I think the NFC East has 4 teams that can win the division. So, and then of course they're in a division with Seattle. So it's just unfortunate for the Cardinals, but I don't think. And I also think that, they're relying on Carson Palmer, but I don't think Carson Palmer is aging like Brady is aging, and like Rodgers is aging, and even like Eli is aging. I just think he's maybe starting the skills are starting to decline on him. So I think maybe it's time next year to get one of those quarterbacks in the draft. And I actually think there was rumors that they were looking to actually trade up to get Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs beat them to it. So, but whatever. That's the Cardinals. 49ers, I think they are totally going to be better. I think I love the fact they've gone back to they've gone to a 4-3 defense. Because when you have Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. Yeah, of course you need a 3-4 defense. You need both of them to play. But with Patrick Willis retiring, and there's just Navarro Bowman there, you go back to 4-3 defense. I think, and this is just again, just for me, the 4-3 defense I think is a better defense. Now you make the defense what your players are. I really do think that if you are, and I think that's what Oakland and New England is doing this year. They get both defense, and I think that's really what you should do. You should grab the best talent, and kind of wish the Bears would kind of go to a hybrid defense, because I kind of think, even though I think Leonard Floyd is a good, outside linebacker pass rusher, I still don't believe that Lamar Houston and Willie Young should be outside linebacking pass rushers. So I really wish they would do that hybrid, and maybe they would do like a 4-3 defense. Let Willie Young, Lamar Houston come off the edges on that one, and then they can do like some 3-4 stuff, and then let Floyd and McPhee come off the edges that way. But it's neither here nor there. I would like the fact they're going to a 4-3. I think Kyle Shanahan was kind of interesting. They didn't draft a quarterback at all. They signed two Bears quarterbacks, Brian Hoyer and Matt Barkley, and they drafted C.J. Beathard. And there's been a lot of talk about C.J. Beathard and how good he is. So I think it's great to see. There's a lot of rumors. There's rumors in the offseason that the 49ers were going to trade. Redskins were going to trade Kirk Cousins to the 49ers because of Kyle Shanahan and him knowing, Kirk Cousins from being in Washington when Mike Shanahan was the head coach. So we'll have to see. But I watched the Sunday night game against the Vikings, and it was one hell of a preseason game. For a preseason game, that was one hell of a game. So I kind of think this team is going to be this team is not going to have the second overall draft pick anymore. I think with this team, I think they're going to get back on the road to get back to where Jim Harbaugh had them, and it's going to be very interesting to see. And I think it's going to be very fun to watch. I think it's going to be interesting to the team. I think they're not going to be good enough to win games a lot, but I think this should be a fun watch at the very least. They were not a fun watch the last couple of years. It just wasn't. So the 49ers, I think, are going to be better under Kyle Shanahan, and we'll see how the quarterback situation, plays out. Well, are they going to stick with Brian Hoyer the whole season? Are they going to let C.J. Beathard, the rookie, get, and then in the offseason, will they draft a quarterback? Will they go after Kirk Cousins? We will have to wait and see, obviously. And then we have finally the last team in the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams. What can you just say? They are truly in a rebuilding mode. Jared Goff is a young quarterback, and he's gonna have his times look good. He's gonna have his times look bad. They traded for Sammy Watkins to help him out, and then they get Robert Woods from Buffalo as well in the offseason. So and Todd Gurley needs to come back and be healthy, and hopefully that offensive line can open some holes for him so they can run the ball effectively. But I just think it's not. I just don't think there's a lot of talent on their team. I really don't. So I just think, what I think what really would help them out, and I really do. I really think what would help them out is just to have a year suck, basically. They have a year suck, get a top 5 pick, and then kind of gets more talent that way, and then hopefully maybe Jared Goff. What would you like to see from the Rams and Jared Goff is maybe at the end of the year you see why Jared Goff was the #1 overall pick. You see with the throws and the accuracy and just everything. And the Rams are in games because of Jared Goff. Maybe they're not winning them, but they're in games because of Jared Goff. That's what you like to see to end the season. So who knows about that? On to the AFC. Let's start with the AFC North. Listen, I think the Steelers are still a good team. I don't think they're 15-1 good, but I think they're good. I think they could possibly win the division. I still like the Bengals more than them, but I think both the Bengals and Steelers are going to be playoff teams. Listen, when you've got killer bees, Ben, Bell, and Brown, and they stay healthy, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think that's any question. I think now, after signing Joe Hayden, after the Browns cut him, I think that can maybe shore up the secondary a little bit. They still do the zone defense basically, so I think that's what Joe Hayden is more equipped to. Or something saying that the Browns were kind of they were going to a man-to-man type team on defense, but it just didn't help them out. He didn't fit because Joe Hayden at this stage in his career is probably more of a zone defense, so that can be neither here nor there. Sim. I think I think the Steelers are again class of the division. And it's funny because they drafted Josh Dobbs out of Tennessee, and I think they are thinking that this might be Ben's last year. We will have to see because. Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer. I think there's no doubt about it. He won 2 Super Bowls, went to another one. He was the even though he didn't win the MVP, he was the main part of both of them. Even though he was the first one, he was the As they like to say, he was the monkey driving the limo. On that team. But the second one they won, he was definitely a big part of that one, a major part. Some of the throws he made to Santonio Holmes probably could not have been made by anybody else on the team. Of course, quarterback-wise, of course, but the team. So I think them are good. I think the Bengals are gonna, after having it down, I think they're gonna step up. I think Andy Dalton is going to be interesting. They have 3 good running backs in Giovanni Bernard, Jeremy Hill, and then the rookie Joe Mixon. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works, how they play out. Again, I think this is the same thing with Carolina over here. I think you're going to see all 3 get run as a running back. But I think in next year or in a couple years, it's going to be Joe Mixon's team without question. I think he's the more talented of them all. He can do it all. He can catch out the backfield. He can run in the middle. So I think that's going to be a team. But they've got Bernard and Hill there, so I think they're going to use all 3 of them. AJ Green hopefully stays healthy. Who really needs to stay healthy is Tyler Eifert, their tight end, because I think that really helps Andy Dalton out, having a healthy Tyler Eifert, to get the mismatches, to get the mismatches that he needs in the middle of the field. And also the middle of the field opens up then down the line for AJ Green and opens up everything. So if they can keep Tyler Eifert healthy, I think it will be a tremendous year for the Bengals. I think also Vontaze Burfict needs to stop being him and stop being Vontaze Burfict. Although this most recent suspension, everybody is saying that by the letter of the law, he did a legal hit. It was a legal hit. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't legal. By the letter of the law, he put his shoulder into the man's shoulder, but his past has caught it back up to him, and this is why it's the liar thing. You tell so many stories, and then when you try to tell the truth, nobody believes you. Once you do so many bad, so many dirty plays and dirty hits, that when you do the clean one and they think of it as dirty, that's just who you are. So unfortunately, but I do think they're going to be a much better team than they was last year. Again, I believe in Andy Dalton. I think he's a good quarterback. Sure, he may not have the strongest arm, and who gives a fuck about his red hair, but I think he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback in this league, and I think maybe one day he actually might get the Bengals there. But it's going to have to be with help of everybody on his team, everybody on his defense. But I think he is definitely a good quarterback, a good one. I would have taken him any day over Jay Cutler, any day. The Cleveland Browns. Now I have the Cleveland Browns over the Baltimore Ravens. And I personally, I like the Cleveland Browns. I do. I like what they're doing. I like how they are just acquiring draft picks, and they're trying to bring Moneyball to the National Football League in a certain way. Hopefully not too big, because the sabermetrics bullshit is pissing me off in baseball. So hopefully they're not trying to do that shit where they're looking at advanced stats in football to try to make a better team. Hope they're not doing that. But I just hope that what they're doing is that they're trying to acquire as much talent as they can by trading people and getting rid of people and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see about Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, the left tackle, everybody says, and I would agree, is a Hall of Famer. He's been there. He has not missed a game since he was drafted by the Browns. He is a stout left tackle. He goes to the Pro Bowl each and every year. Maybe the only Pro Bowl Cleveland Browns have each and every year. And there was some talk last year about him getting traded. I think he's going to get traded at the deadline this year. I really do. They're going to start Deshaun Kaiser, the quarterback from Notre Dame, the rookie. I think that's a smart idea. No reason to play Osweiler or Kessler. Deshaun Kaiser is your guy. You need to go ahead and play him and let him learn. That's what I believe. I think that, you know, Peyton Manning started from day one, became the greatest quarterback of all time, and he is. You know, I think a lot of people started from that, and there's a lot of people who did not start that first and became great quarterbacks. The you know, second greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, did not start from his rookie year, but he is. But you know, but he proved what he is. So it's both ways. I just personally believe that you throw him in there and you throw the rookie in there, you let him learn by playing. So hopefully that's what happens with DeShone Kizer. Hopefully he becomes the quarterback the Browns want and need. For the Ravens, they have Joe Flacco there, and they have Terrell Suggs there, and they have some other people there. I just don't know if they are good enough to, at this point, continue on to where they have been. I mean, ever since they've won the Super Bowl, it's kind of interesting. Ever since they won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and gave him that money, it seems like it has been all down here from there. And listen, I don't, you know, Joe Flacco, he went on the heater of all heaters. I don't think Joe Flacco, he's a good quarterback. I don't think he is like a top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's even top 15. He might be right there in like in that, you know, in that middle, maybe like that 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 range. He might be like right there, you know, and you can win with those guys. I don't know if you can win Super Bowls with those guys, but you can definitely win games with them, and I think that's what they've done with Joe Flacco. They've won games, but I don't know about Joe Flacco anymore. So he's coming off an ACL injury. He's got a back injury. Who knows? So I don't think they're going to be good at all. So that's why I have them last. And listen, we don't know necessarily the Browns. And the only reason why I had the Browns ahead of the Ravens is because I just like them more. I can easily see the Browns, you know, these Browns still being the last in the division, still getting the first overall pick next year because they don't have the talent. But I don't think Baltimore has that more. They are more talented than the Browns either way. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Browns one and the Ravens two come April in next year's draft. The AFC South, I have the Titans. Listen, I'm jumping on the bandwagon with everybody else. The Titans are the team I think that everybody thinks is going to make that jump into the playoffs, and with Andrew Luck, you know, questionable. And as a coach, I think they're a more talented team. I do think. I think Andrew Luck is a better quarterback. I think T.Y. Hilton is a great receiver. I think they've got, you know, and Frank Gore, obviously the old man, still running hard. I think their defense got better. They drafted offensive line, even though their center got hurt. I think, you know, these Colts are a more better team. But I think the Andrew Luck injury does hurt them a little bit, and I think that the Titans are going to take advantage of that in their head-to-head matchups. And I think that's why the Titans will be 10-6, the Colts will be 9-7, and the Titans will make the playoffs. I think they'll win their division that way. I think Mariota's going to step up. You know, he looked bad in that, you know, in that third preseason game against the Bears. But that's what all young quarterbacks do. Young quarterbacks are still, they're going to, and even older quarterbacks, they have days where they look bad and they overthrow players and they just not, whatever happened that day, it just didn't happen for them. So that was that day for Mariota, but I think he's going to step up. He's got a more talent. DeMarco Murray's still there, and so is the other guy, Derrick Henry, the guy from Alabama. You've got two rookie wide receivers that, even though right now one of them is hurt, but I think both of them are talented and both of them have good speed. Still have Delaney Walker, a tight end that he can go to. So he's got, and the defense is pretty good as well. So I think at least good enough to get them to 10-6. So I expect the Titans to win their division. The Colts come in second. For the Texans to take a step backwards. I think J.J. Watt and that defense is still going to be tremendous, but whether it's Tom Savage or whether it's Deshaun Watson, I just don't think they're going to be offensively good enough. They're going to score points enough to win. Now you say with their defense should stop teams from scoring. Maybe, but they would have to be historically good. I think they're going to be good, like top 5 good, but I don't think they're going to be historically good to where they hold teams like, you know, 13 points a game. I just don't think that's going to happen. Not in this league anymore. This is an offensive league, and teams score, you know, 20 points on the regular. And I just don't think they're going to have it for the Texans. I think their quarterback situation is going to be a part of it. But I will say this: I think by the end of the year, Deshaun Watson will be their quarterback, and I think Deshaun Watson. You know what you may see is like the Texans be like the Texans may be like 6-8, in the final two, and then Deshaun Watson comes up and they win that final two 8-8, but then a team like the Bengals or something like that. If they're not 13-3, the team like the Bengals wins their last game, they get 9-7, and then they finally get in, and then they sneak in to the playoffs over the Texans. You can definitely see that happening, but I do think they're going to be. I am predicting them to be like the third team in the NFC South, and then the Jaguars. Listen, I was all over the Jaguars last year. I don't know. I had the Jaguars being everything. And I had to win the division. I had Jalen Ramsey, the rookie of the year, or Miles Jackson, the rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. And I had Blake Bortles being like the MVP. And I was Jaguar crazy. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. Now I will say this: they have a lot of talent. But can that talent come together and actually play? Blake Bortles is the quarterback. He's been named the starter. But I do think that he has the quickest hook of any quarterback in this league. I think once he throws that because the people who drafted him are not there anymore. So once he throws that stupid interception, I think they're going to put in Chad Henne, or they're going to put in the rookie quarterback that they have. They're going to do something else. Blake Bortles needs to step up. He's got the talent. He just hasn't put it together with his brain. So I'm not making the same mistake I made last year. The Jacksonville Jaguars will be the last team in the AFC South. In the AFC East, obviously the Patriots. I have the Patriots winning. We know who they are. Listen, I don't have them being undefeated. Like they will lose games. Like a lot of people saying that the Patriots could go undefeated. They lost Julian Edelman for the year, which is unfortunate. You never like to see anybody get injured. Gronk, he has injury problems. He's being healthy, but who knows if he gets injured. And I just don't think. I think they're good. I just don't know how good. We'll have to wait and see that next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll see how good and how dominant they really are. I just think that'll be good. I don't think they'll outclass teams like they did in 2007. I just don't. I have the Dolphins being 7-9. Another reason why I have the Dolphins being 7-9 is because I think, other than Jay Cutler, they have a lot of talent. So I think that talent will overcome Jay Cutler. And listen, I think Jay Cutler may look good. I think you might end up seeing Jay Cutler being, 26 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. The only time in his career that he would be, a two touchdown to interception ratio, 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That may be the only time that might happen, but that doesn't mean that he still won't throw stupid interceptions. He still won't, care about shit. He still won't. He's going to be Jay Cutler. He really is. Because no matter what happens, you just can't go by. He may even get injured too, because he's had an injury history as well. He may get injured, and they may go to Matt Moore, and then he may not play anymore because Matt Moore plays better than him. So, but I think they have to win games. At the most time, I think they may win. Other than the Patriots, they may take one from the Patriots down in Miami. They've done that the past couple of years, where they've taken the home game against Miami. So they may do that again this year, but I think they'll beat the Bills and they'll beat the Jets both times, and they'll be 7-9. They won't make the playoffs, obviously. The Bills are just, even though they have LaShawn McCoy, they're revamping everything. I just don't think, again, that they have the talent right now to compete. And of course, the Jets don't. The Jets just don't either. I think Tyrod Taylor's a nice quarterback. I think he's in that lower tier, but I don't think he's the type of quarterback. What Tyrod Taylor is right now is I think a perfect quarterback for them, because he doesn't lose them games, but he doesn't win them games either. And I think the Bills know that. I think that's why the Bills kind of like re-signed him. It says he's a good enough quarterback to where he'll he won't lose his games, but he won't win his games as well. So it's gonna be up to LaShawn McCoy and our defense and things like that. But when you trade Sammy Watkins, you realize what they're doing. They're trying to tank. They still want to be competitive, I bet, but they're trying to tank. And then the Jets are the Jets are 1-15. I think that's what they'll be. They will be 1-15. I do think the Jets are just they're talentless. They can't choose a quarterback. They just Bryce Petty not stepping up. Christian Hackenberg is not stepping up. They have to go to Josh McCown. They have Matt Forte there and former Bear in the backfield. But I just think it's just it's unfortunate for Jet fans. I really do think that they probably do deserve a little bit better than what they are giving them. And so, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go to AFC West. Now I have the Broncos and the Raiders making the playoffs, and I think this is what I would say. The one thing that I really would say this, because the Broncos at 15-1, another 15-1 team, and then I have the Raiders at 14-2. I actually think I would switch. I would have the Raiders winning the division, the Broncos being a wild card. I think Trevor Siemian, who thought that Northwestern guy would have been so good, and or at least good enough to beat out a #1 draft pick in Paxton Lynch. And but he did it twice in back-to-back years. He started. I think he might play good enough. It's all only about that defense, and that running game, and then Trevor Siemian would just do what he needs to do to get by. And I think that can happen. I think that can happen well enough for they won't win the division, but they'll make the playoffs. The Raiders by the hand, I think, are definitely the class of the division. I think the quarterback is outstanding. They brought in Marshawn Lynch, to help in the backfield. They get Amani Cooper, on the outside, and then their defense, I think, is stacked. I really do think that the Raiders are going to go far, foreshadowing. So I would actually say the Raiders are going to win their division, even though in that little game I did, I have the Broncos winning. I think the Raiders are actually going to win it, and they're going to do some big things this year. On the Chiefs, always good. You can always expect the Chiefs to be good. I just think that, obviously, the other teams are going to step up. I believe the Bengals and possibly the Colts are going to be a lot better than they were last year. So they might step up and take that last playoff spot, and the Chiefs are just going to be SOL, unfortunately. I think the Broncos are going to become much better this year than they were last year. So the Chiefs are the ones that is going to, won't make the playoffs this year. But that's not going to mean anything. They're still going to be competitive, still going to be good. You're going to say what you're going to say with the Chiefs. I say the Chiefs are a great team. They were in the wrong division. They were in the wrong conference. Well, that's what you're going to say. Or you're going to say this, that one game they slipped up on. That one game that they let the Bills beat them. Or that one game they let the Jaguars beat them. Or that one game they let the Browns beat them. It's a game that cost them the opportunity to go to the playoffs. That's what you're going to say. They get Jamal Charles is now in Denver. So they're back in this. But Spencer Ware got hurt. They said he's out for the year, I believe. So it is going to be interesting to see what goes down with the Chiefs in the backfield. They also took Patrick Mahomes, but Alex Smith is a starter. I think Alex Smith has like 3 more years, and I really do think you're not going to see Patrick Mahomes. I don't think the Chiefs are going to do to Alex Smith what the 49ers did to Alex Smith, and just when they threw Kaepernick in there and then didn't let Alex Smith get his job back. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to sit behind Alex Smith for at least this year, maybe even 2 years. At least, at the very least. I don't really think they're going to let they're going to do that to Alex Smith. So, but I had the Chiefs not making the playoffs, but still being a good team. And then the Chargers, now in Los Angeles. I think they're just in a bad division. They're in a bad division for them. And I don't mean bad as in, as in bad team. I'm talking about bad as in the teams are better than them. So, they're just going to have to, take it on the chin this year. Phillip Rivers is still a good quarterback. I think you're talking about someone who's defying age. I think he's also still having kids, which is amazing as well. But that's just that. I think Melvin Gordon is going to be good. They're going to, I believe, actually, Danny Woodhead is actually in Baltimore now. Danny Woodhead is not in Baltimore, but Melvin Gordon is still going to be good. I think there are a lot of injuries they had last year. People are coming back. Keenan Allen. That's why I was thinking about Danny Woodhead. I know Danny Woodhead tore his ACL last year, but he's in Baltimore. Keenan Allen did as well, but now he's back. He's still here. He's still there with the Chargers, and of course the timeless wonder Antonio Gates has come back, but it seems like he only came back to get the record for most touchdown catches by a tight end. So, that's when there's some rumors about him being a very selfish guy. So I hope that's not the case. I hope he did try to come back to try to help the Chargers gain confidence in Los Angeles. The defense, I think, should be okay, not good or great, just okay. But I just think they're just in the wrong division this year. So, if they were in the AFC South, I would give them an opportunity to make the playoffs, win the division, make the playoffs. But they're in the AFC West, and I don't think they have a shot. I don't know if they're 4-12 bad. I just don't think they have a shot. So let's take a quick look at the playoff situation there now, right? So again, these are this is a lot different than what I said, but what I did do is I did pick the teams I thought that would make the championship games and the Super Bowl. So I have the Patriots and the Raiders, the Packers and the Falcons. I have the Packers beating the Falcons. I have the Raiders beating the Patriots. Then I have the Raiders beating the Packers in the Super Bowl to get Oakland his first Super Bowl. They would give the Oakland fans a Super Bowl before they move to Las Vegas. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. The other ways, like I said, I don't necessarily know how these other things and seeds will play off, because, like I said, I have the Broncos, making the playoffs, but not winning the division as the Raiders do. But in the way this little game I did played out, the Raiders actually were like a wild card team. But I don't think that's really going to happen. But like I said, I just made sure I chose the four teams they would make the conference games, and then the two teams that make the Super Bowl and who win the Super Bowl. That's the Oakland Raiders. I'm predicting the Oakland Raiders to be the Super Bowl champions of would this be Super Bowl 52? Super Bowl 52. So let's take a quick look at the Bears. I am from Chicago, so I always like to do my team, the Chicago Bears, and how I have them going out this week 1. I have them losing to the Falcons. Week 2, losing to the Bucks. Week 3, losing to the Steelers. Week 4, losing to the Packers. Now, I don't think Mike Glennon will be bad enough to where in week 5, because there's some talk about maybe after week 4, that would be the perfect time to start Mike Glennon, because that week 4 game is on the Thursday. The week 5 game is on Monday night. So that would be 11 days to get Mitch Trubisky ready for the primetime game against the Vikings, a team that they should beat. And at home on Monday night, they did it last year. So why not, do it this year? I don't know. I'm not predicting that, but we'll have to see. They're going to beat the Ravens. They're going to lose to the Panthers, and the Saints will come in with. That's an iffy game. They could easily beat the Saints. Then the bye week. Now, this is what I really think, and this is what usually happens, right? When it comes to rookie quarterbacks that don't start the season. Usually they start the week after the bye. And even though they're going against the Green Bay Packers, I think this is when we will see Mitch Trubisky. I think that the Bears, as you see, I had them. They're going to be 2-6 going into the bye. Whether Mike Glennon is playing well or not, I think they're going to say, let's go ahead and let's give Mitch Trubisky a chance. The way they would see it, if he's bad, they lose more games, they get a higher draft pick. If he's good, maybe they win more games, and it gives Bears fans more hope going into next season. Win-win situation. That said, as we continue to pick up, They'll lose the game against the Packers. They'll beat the Lions. They'll lose against the Eagles. They'll beat the 49ers. They'll lose to the Bengals. They'll beat the Lions in that Saturday game. That's actually the game where I'm going. I will be going to North Carolina to see my family for a couple weeks of Christmas. Hi, Mom. They would come home. They will beat Cleveland, and hopefully that's some snow game. And then week 17, once again going. They did it last year, doing it this year, going up to Minnesota, and they will lose to the Minnesota Vikings. So that is the Chicago Bears and what I think about them. Now let me give you some of my picks for like the awards. In the MVP, I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. I have them winning the Super Bowl, and I have them winning the division. So I think I need to go with Derek Carr, right? Offensive Player of the Year, I think will be Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston. I have the Buccaneers winning that division. I think he will play great. I think him and Derek Carr may battle for that MVP. Of course, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers will be in that mix as well. But I'm going to say Offensive Player of the Year. He's going to throw for about 4,500 yards, about 30 touchdowns. I think Jameis Winston is going to be Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, J.J. Watt. I mean, J.J. Watt wins it every year he's healthy. So I think he's going to get it again this year. I think Khalil Mack could definitely be there. I think the guy in Kansas City, Justin Houston, I think he could get it as well. But I'm going to go with the obvious. I'm going to go chalk J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt would also win Comeback Player of the Year. I think that's if he's healthy and everything like that, he should win Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year. I don't think there's any question about that. I think on Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to have 700 yards receiving and rushing. He'll have like over 10 touchdowns receiving and rushing, maybe even a couple punt return touchdowns as well. I think he's going to do it all. He's going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Myles Garrett, #1 overall pick. Why not? Again, you think it's kind of chalk, but I think Solomon Thomas from San Francisco will be there. He'll be in that call. He's going to do some good as well, but I'm just going to go with Myles Garrett. And I think the Coach of the Year will be Jack Del Rio. If I have, if I have the Oakland Raiders winning the Super Bowl, I probably need to pick the quarterback for the MVP, and I need to pick their coach for Coach of the Year. That's usually how it goes. Unless, again, unless they're going to give it to Dirk Cutter, like the Buccaneers being good, that could happen. And also, if a team out of nowhere steps up, like I said, the Tennessee Titans, maybe you give it to Mike Mularkey. But I think it's going to be Jack Del Rio. So yeah, I think that's it for all of the awards, the major awards. So yeah, that's it. That's my 2017-2018 season preview. I had fun doing this, man. This new way of doing it with this predictor was fun. I hope they kind of have one. I was gonna say the NBA, but that's 82 games. So I don't know if they have one for the NBA. But this one was fun doing this one like here. I really enjoyed it. I wish they had one for college football because my college football one is. Again, no, that's 100 and some teams. So this was perfect. 30 teams, 16 games a week or something. So yeah, this one was perfect. So post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought. What are your predictions? Who do you think are going to win? Who do you think is going to lose? Who do you think is going to everything? Who's going to win the MVP? Give me all your predictions down below in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Trep signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.